Shalom, shalom. Before I get started, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Harakak Badash, and double honors to the elder apostles, great millstone, who rule and teach well, who I learn this truth from, and honors and salutations to the men of the Lord, doing the same and teaching the same. All right, this is the brother Mawam coming back with another sit down. All right, and the title of this lesson is iuic is going off on the multiple wives breakdown. Okay, because iuic teach that you can't have multiple wives. They teach that you can't have multiple wives, and that's a lie. All right. Now us being in this captivity, we're not focused on trying to get multiple wives. Okay, but we understand, as prophesied right here in the Bible, when society do collapse, okay, women are going to be running to men of the Lord. Okay, women are going to be running to men of the Lord. All right, it's going to be a scarcity of men. Not only that, it's going to be a scarcity of men of the Lord, elect men of the Lord, and Lord willing them of their number. Okay, and people are going to see the difference. You're going to see the difference between a man of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah and a man of the world. You're going to see the difference. All right, it's a big difference. Okay, the men of the Lord that's of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah and truth and sincerity, people are going to be watching them flourish. All right, in Jacob's trouble during the Great Tribulation, you're going to be watching, the men of the Lord that call upon Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah. You're going to be watching them doing good. They're not going to be suffering like the world is. Okay, and women are going to understand that and recognize that. All right, and also a lot of women that's in the background, they watching the prophets, okay, and they see everything we saying is coming true. All right. Okay, and also good news. All right, I just got me some wheels. All right, just got a car, so now I can go back on the highways and hedges. All right, so back to the usual. All right, so for those that been watching me, now you're going to see me teaching once again, back in front of the new state capitol. All right, I repeat, you're going to see me back again in front of the new state capitol. All right, and just bringing out the prophecies. All right, and Lord willing is edifying. So this is Isaiah 4:1. And in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. You see? So that's how bad it's going to get out here. It's going to get so bad. Women going to go from saying they don't need a man to they're going to be begging. These women are going to be begging men of the Lord to to be with us. All right, to be with us, and Lord willing them of their number. To be with us so they can be under the protection of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah. Okay, under that spiritual umbrella. Okay. So for iuic that's saying that having multiple wives is wrong, it's wicked, and they pull certain scriptures, they sound just like Christians. I don't see the difference between a Christian and iuic. All right, The only difference is one claims to be a Hebrew Israelite and then the other don't. But other than that, they the same fucking they got the same form of worship, same similar belief system. Okay? So the point is, well, first let me read the scripture. This Exodus 21:10. If so, these are just precepts showing you that it's not wicked, it's not evil to have multiple wives. You know, it's lawful, but it's not expedient because we're in slavery captivity. All right, right now. But as this society collapses, you know, a lot of men of the Lord are going to have multiple wives because it's biblical prophecy for it to happen. Isaiah 4:1. You know, so it's going to take society to collapse to bring that back. Okay? And I'm going to get that precept about saved and childbearing. Okay? And also we're going to get historical accounts showing how the Lord was not against having multiple wives. Okay? You know, as long as you put Yahweh Hashem Yahweh first, you serving the Lord, you're not serving idols, all right, you're not going against his will, you know, hey, the Lord will allow you to have as many wives as you want, as long as you can handle it, okay? So this Exodus 21:10. If he take him another wife, her food and her raiment and her duty of marriage shall he not diminish. Okay? So, you know, you gotta be able to take care of that woman. Whether it's 5 women, 10 women, 20 women, 2 women, you gotta be able to, as a man, you gotta be able to provide. Okay? You know, and lead, you know, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah. Okay? So it was another precept I wanted to get, but matter of fact, I'm gonna quote it because Christians in iuic, they use the scripture about a deacon must have one wife and his house being in order, children obedient, etc., etc. That's going into, you know, the leadership of the church. Okay? Okay? That's going into the position of a, you know, like to give an example of the elder apostles. All right? They watch over all of the house of Israel. Okay? The elder apostles, great millstone, they diligently, you know, making sure, you know, basically, all the prophets make sure they're working, you know, they watching out for wolves and sheep clothing, they exposing false prophets, they prophesying, edifying the sheep, watching over the sheep, the lambs, with great care, and, you know, answering questions, sincere questions, etc., etc. All right. So when you're the leader, you know, you don't got time to, you know, have multiple wives. Okay, you're too busy leading. All right, and I'm just putting that in simple terms for those out there, you know, to understand. Okay. All right, so this is a precept proving that you can have multiple wives. It's a time and place for everything. Okay. And in the kingdom, of course, we're gonna have multiple wives. You know, but it's great. Like, we're gonna have way more than that. You know, brothers gonna have their own planet. You're gonna have your own planet. You know, you're gonna have your own spaceship. All right, you're gonna be an immortal. So there's many more things to look forward to. Okay. So this second Samuel 12:7. And Nathan said to David, Thou art the man, thus saith the Lord Yahweh of Israel, I anointed thee king over Israel, and I delivered thee out of the hand of Saul. And I gave thee thy master's house and thy master's wives into thy bosom. Okay? You know, the Lord made King David king over all Israel. You know, after the Lord removed King Saul. Okay, and it says, and gave thee the house of Israel and of Judah, and if that had been too little, I would moreover have given unto thee such and such things. You see, all right. You know, so the Lord blessed King David with multiple wives. You know, a kingdom. You know, a scepter. All right, servants. You know, and you see, and that's the point. Okay. So if having multiple wives is so bad and it's against the Bible, then why the Lord gave multiple wives to King David? Answer that. Okay. You know, and our forefathers are known for having, you know, dealing with more than one woman, having multiple wives. You know, our forefathers, Abraham, you know, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, all had, you know, multiple wives. All right, and many other of our forefathers. Okay, you know, that's of our our DNA. That's of our heritage. Okay, that's one of the customs of the Israelites to have multiple wives. Okay. All right. So Lord willing, that was edifying. You know, any questions, put it in the comment section or whatever. Now, I can see your comment, but for some reason it won't let me respond. Okay. I can see your comment, but it won't let me text back. So I only can like the comment. Okay. So with that, I want to end it and give all praises to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shah Bahasham, Habakak and double honors to the old apostles, great millstone, who rule and teach well, and honors and salutations to the men of the Lord doing the same teaching. Same.